Yo,
Yo,
let's
okay,
put the
finally,
lockdown in the building. It's like having a
finally.
new toy, man.
I'm
Hold
trying
on.
to tell you, you over there just touching buttons like you just
And
like,
listen,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
listen. We in the building, man.
lock in, lock out, lock in, lock out, wreck
We in
child.
the building, man. You already know.
Sorry, guys, false alarm. Everybody lock in.
Yo, so bring us in, man. Bring us in, Anthony, man.
What's up, everybody? What's going on? What's going on, everybody, man? We on this new platform. What's it called, Eric? Tell them what it's called.
StreamYard.
StreamYard.
We
Here
streaming
goes
live for
the
our
episode of
followers.
Success After Lockdown. We're trying to tap into some new dimensions and new ways to connect with our guests all over the world and all over the states and the country. So we're doing this little StreamYard over here. Today we got a special guest, man, that was brought to our attention. We didn't want to wait to air this episode, so we're going live with Mr. Ishmael. Mr. Ishmael was brought to us by, of course, none other than EB, Eric
No
Benson.
question, man. No question.
Introduce, give us
That's
a little
alumni.
synopsis on, give us the
Mercy College
synopsis on the
alumni. Let's get it right.
part of the alumni. Who's the alumni? What's the alumni? In case people
Yeah.
forgot, you
Mercy
touching on
College
those words.
alumni.
Uh,
You
so,
heard?
yes, sir. So, so anyway, introduce your guest, Eric.
Okay, so listen,
Introduce.
man. This this interview been a long time coming. This brother, he doing great things, man. This brother, he's an innovator. He's a boss. You know, he a family man. He do what he do. You know, and I've been looking forward to this interview with the brother so he can shed some light on what he do and help educate others out here so that they don't fall down the pitfalls that a lot of us did when we were younger. You
Yeah,
know,
and he's from New York, from BK. Ishmael. Ishmael,
no
welcome to the
question.
show,
In the
my brother.
building,
Welcome
our
to the
brother
show.
is.
Thank you,
You know what
bro.
I'm saying?
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank
Yeah, man. How's everything? Yes.
Everything's good, man. Everything's good. Just here, taking time out from cooking. You know, I'm cooking one of my things I do. So I got a car show on Sunday. So I'm preparing 1,600 empanadas by Saturday.
Ooh.
No question. No question.
You
You
know, let's
heard?
tell the truth, Ishmael. You doing 18 empanadas to 200 for the house.
Yeah, I used to, but I don't do that no more.
Yeah.
I can't cook and put her in the stash. You know what I mean?
No
So
question.
tell us a little bit about yourself, Ishmael. Where you from? Where you grew up at? And then we're
Yes.
gonna get it started.
Yeah, start from the beginning, man. Start
Yeah.
from the youth, man. One family, one parent home, two parent home. How was that, man? How was Ishmael growing up?
So I had a 2-parent home, and everybody worked. You know, my mother and father worked. My father used to work like day and night. Like he would come home and wake us up to say that, good night. And you know, all he would tell me was go stay in school, but so us turned into like knuckleheads. And by choice, I would hang out in the streets and everything. So now I look back, I dropped out of school in the 11th grade. Like I had one grade left. Uh, but I grew up in Brooklyn, born and raised. We lived in the
B-
house. Say it
Shout out
again.
to BK. Be shout out to BK.
Yeah,
Hey,
BK. So
BK.
I'm like, yeah, I was like all over Brooklyn. Like, so our house when I was young, we had a house in the side of Cooper Projects in Brooklyn. Most of my family was in Bushwick Projects in Brooklyn. And so like I go across Cooper Projects, Williamsburg Projects, Borinquen Projects, like all like everything in between. So like I'm like the universal dude,
No question. No
you know.
question.
And I started working when I was 16 because I had a girlfriend, well, my wife, but her father was like, you can't go out with that guy if he's not in school or he don't go to work. So I just started going to work. I worked with my dad because I knew how to do that. And then her father got me a job in the private sanitation back when it was the real private sanitation, like for people that
Yeah,
don't know
I know
that.
what you mean. I know what
you
you
know.
mean.
Yeah.
So I was working like directly with the owners back then, and I started washing garbage trucks inside the garbage trucks where all the squishy stuff goes in. So I started washing that, and that's like one of the first lessons I learned about working, because I don't have a problem working hard. But when I finished cleaning the first garbage truck, the owner came over, and he was like a scary dude. He was like 350 plus, big dude, and he was like, "You finished washing this?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he took his bare hand. Now, mind you, I was washing the garbage truck. I had a full yellow, look like Big Bird rain suit
Hazmat outfit.
Yeah.
with the hat on. I had the goggles. I got gloves, rubber washing, dishwashing gloves, everything, rubber boots. This man came over with his polo shirt and his jeans. He took his bare hand and he stuck it in the piston of the garbage truck where the gate comes down, and pulled out guck. It was just guck.
Ugh.
And he said, "If you don't clean this right, my guys at night will get stuck and they're going to have to come back to the shop, get another truck, and then go back out and finish their route."
Oh.
When that guy walked away, I ripped all of that shit off.
Yeah.
I said, if this dude owns this and he's sticking his head, I must look ridiculous with all this
Yeah.
stuff on. And when him and his brother saw that, like within a week or two, I got promoted and I was doing inspections on all the garbage trucks and putting grease in all the fittings. That was my new job. So I got promoted, and then I got a friend of mine who dropped out of school and got him, and he started washing garbage trucks.
Nice. You're telling that story kind of
Nice.
reminds me.
Nice.
I think I was in Livingston. I think I was in Livingston working on the outside crew, and I worked in the cleaning the shit house. I did that for one day. They told me climb down that grate. I said, "Put me in the shoe." Dude gave me a pick line. Gave me this pick line like that was a grate. And like, listen, you gotta unclog all the shirts and stuff, people stuff down for the box and everything to let the water away and all this. Man, that smell! I said, it put me to my. I'm not doing this. I ain't doing this. Yeah. The only benefit was it was outside the jail. But so, what did your father do?
So
He
my
said-
father was a fire sprinkler mechanic, the fire sprinklers when like
Okay.
the stores and commercial buildings and stuff. So I was doing that since I was like could walk. Like he would take me to work and I would like get all his stuff ready, keep his tools clean. So
Right.
that was my first job. But then I didn't like the way the boss treat my father. Like his father was good to my dad, but like the son when he took over, like he would keep my dad working hard and put other people to be the boss, and they would steal from the company, and then he would put somebody else. Like my father wasn't like educated, but he was like a great mechanic,
Right.
and because other companies would ask for him by name, they would never promote him. They would keep him as a head mechanic, pay him, but he should have been not working so hard.
Right.
And that's why I took away from that. I was like, I will work hard and do my best, but I will not let anyone take advantage of me like that. You know.
So,
Work ethic is right there.
so what happened? Like, where did the deter come within your life? Like, growing up.
So in my 20s, I was at that garbage company, and this is where like big things started happening. Like I started realizing like when I could use my ideas to make my job easier and make more money. So I'm actually in my 20s. I actually am the person that pretty much created the way New York sorts out all the recycled garbage, and that's helped set up the whole plan of how they put the garbage company together for the recycling. So that was in my 20s, and then from there it just took off. I went from there when they broke up the garbage company. I went to I bought my first house in my late 20s on Long Island.
Congratulations on that.
you know, to be close to my sister-in-law's. We were going like every weekend, me and my wife, to my sister-in-law's in Long Island, and I bought a house on Long Island instead of doing the drive. And then from there, I went and I started work in a commercial laundry. So when I went on an interview to this commercial laundry, you go fully suited. I went for a supervisor's position, and they talked to me in the office. They told me the salary, you know, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm good. So then we walk out of this air-conditioned office, and if I tell you, when we went through the door, it was 113 degrees in this laundry. Before I made it 25 steps, I was wet all the way to my socks.
Wow.
So I was there for 2 years as a supervisor, and there was a family friend who was the boss. But after 2 years, because I had already like pretty much had everything down packed, because in that commercial laundry, people don't realize that commercial laundry was ahead of its time. We had our own water treatment plant. We made our own electricity with recycled oil. And it was just old machines, but
good.
They called me in and they asked, I was getting ready to leave because I don't want to work with that guy anymore. He was lazy. And I started going to work with my hat on. I had my jewelry on from Brooklyn. I was like I don't care no more. Like, I don't care. And they called me in the office, and I remember I was sitting there, and one of the bosses was the mayor of the town. So he's the mayor, and I'm sitting there like, and he says, you know, that Frank is leaving, and you know, we have to have somebody to run the plant, but we don't want to work anymore. We want the whole plant. So I'm waiting to see who this person is, because I was ready to say, like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And we want you to do it, because it's 3 brothers and 1 sister. So they had me lined up. They was like all in the conference room. And I was like, I said, okay. And they was like, no, we want you. Would you take the job? So I was like, oh shit, let me sit back up. I'm ready to get fired. I'm ready to quit. I'm like, so they gave me I became the plant manager of over 60 employees. I used to wash 250,000 pounds of clothes a week from the hospitals on Long Island, 15 hospitals. I was in charge of logistics. I had to learn how to turn on the whole power plant and switch the Frankenstein switches electricity like that from one power to the other without dying. Yeah, the guy was like, when you flip it, like flip it. Like, don't hold it, don't push it, because if you touch it, you're gonna die. He like straight out, the mechanic told me like don't push it. So you gotta you had to whoa, and throw that shit.
Get your own electric chair and shit.
It was like a handle like this big. I was like, all I could think it was like, I'm a fry if I touch this thing.
That would have been a turning point for me. I quit.
Yeah, so we did that, but that family taught me real estate. They taught me like a lot of stuff, and I got a lot of connections through there. So in my 30s, while I was there for the 7 years, I actually purchased like a 10-bedroom like mansion that was going up on a hard sale with no money down, with a friend of mine. He helped me, who owned the real estate, and that's how I started. And then from there, I opened my nightclub with my wife. It was supposed to be a little bar, but it wound up being a nightclub. And I bought another house. We live in the Hamptons, and that's how we got that far from Brooklyn.
Absolutely.
So, tell me about your incarceration, right? So I mean, it seemed like you were doing really well, right? It was really, really well, and I'm sure the audience is wondering that most people are trying to achieve this in their life, right? And how does he go from the block in Brooklyn? Like, the first thing I gotta ask: are you OCD when it comes to cleaning? You gotta be.
Nah, dude. Like like everybody hates when I cook because I use every dish in the kitchen and
Yeah.
somebody gotta clean it after.
Somebody got to clean that.
So you still adapt the old prison rules. I cook, you clean.
Yeah, I mean, hey, people used to want to
That's what it
be
is.
in the cell right next to me in A
Yeah.
block in Sing Sing. They would request to be. They were like, "Yo, just leave the dishes there. All I want is a bowl of food." That's
Right.
that. So
That's it.
so
Well,
so my dream was to open a club. So before I even did all of that, moved to Long Island, I actually wanted to purchase the Eclipse roller skating ring in East New York and turned it into a nightclub. And I just couldn't get anybody to co-sign. To it was like $1.8 million for a 90,000 square foot 3-floor building in East New York, and nobody would sign for me, man. Nobody would be like, just put the name on the paper. We had the money. It was just so. When I bought my nightclub, everything was going great, but this is where the whole education comes in. So like now I know, I from the streets I turned to business, and I was doing business the right way, but people don't see the behind the scenes. They watch movies, but nightclub business is definitely has a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on.
right.
So I was doing like all Latin. Everybody you see reggaeton artists and bachata right now, like I got them in my club before they were famous, like platinum. So I've been through that 2 times. I had Monchi Alexandra when they weren't even talking. I had
Wow.
Zion and Lennox. I had Winston Yandel that I had to redo the posters because nobody knew their name. They only knew the name of the songs.
Wow.
So I had to redo 500 posters, and I used to hang the posters myself on the light pole, 500 posters every other week.
Wow.
And I did, the business was good, but when people started trying to take and come after my business and try to do things in the whole neighborhoods, I took it as like you attacking me.
No
Not,
question.
I didn't have the like now people say, oh, when people copy you, it's like the highest form of
Back. That's right.
Praises.
right, and like and not at that time I was like, you messing with my money.
Yeah. You can't move it. You can't move it on the block, yo. What up?
Yeah, so when I um I had a couple of friends that was, in the streets out there that I met in Long Island, and they didn't know who I was. They thought I was a club owner. They thought I was some business dude because I got my suit on, and I started getting upset because then one person did it, then another little bar, then another little bar, and then a real estate guy was throwing parties in the hotel like 3 blocks down from me. So I got mad one day, and I just went in my truck and I went to each bar, and I
No
was like,
question. That's right.
I said, we have a problem. You got a bar. You guys make money however you make money. Your bar fits 100 people. You spending $1,000 on an artist. I'm spending $30,000. Your guys are here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The drug dealers come here every day to drink. You confusing people. Now they're like, oh, I don't got to get dressed up to go to entry. I can go over here with my sneakers and my hat on, and you start messing. So now when you got 5 different people doing that, you messing up my whole night.
You interfering in the business plan, the
So,
real scheme of things.
so when I went over there, they started bringing the Brooklyn out, and I was like, yo, we're gonna have a problem. And they was like, who are you? And then when they see the kids from the neighborhood, they was like, oh, these guys with this dude, like, whoa. And so one of them did whatever. So I pulled out, and usually I don't pull out my gun without using it, but they was like getting too close. So everybody agreed to stop, except for like one guy, the guy who owns the real estate. So after all of that is said and done, I did a night with Evie Queen. So The night of Evie Queen, every bar owner closed their place to show that they not messing with my Latin night, and came to my club and bought bottles, like all the owners of every area around me. And I even put one of the owners with his band was the opening act for Evie Queen.
Wow.
And then the last straw, which led to my incarceration, was I was offered to purchase another nightclub not too far from me, but I don't have partners. So I almost did it, but then I was like, it would be like kind of playing chess against myself. Like, I'm gonna fill this place up. How I'm gonna fill up the other place?
Right.
And nobody touches my money, only my wife. Who I'm gonna put over there? Like, we can't split up. So I declined the offer, and somebody bought it. But I thought the people that offered it to me just changed the name like people do. So just to make it more concise, so those people came to my club and there was a promoter. So I got like kind of tired. So I was like, this next couple of months, I gave a promoter the door. I keep my bar money. And I was like, my club already has 800 plus people on a regular. So you can, you promote your nights and take the door money. So those people came to him and he was like showing them like, look what I could do for you. And so they started promoting to do a Latin night. And at first I thought they were like connected. And then when I found out they weren't connected, I went and I blew the place up.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's
Real
crazy.
good fellowship. Real good fellowship. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
But I did it myself, so nobody could tell on me, So I did it myself.
Wow.
And and then they wanted to meet. We met and tried to set me up or whatever. And I was like, if I was you, me personally, if somebody did that to me, I wouldn't do anything to upset that person again.
Right.
So they was like, yeah, you're right. So they didn't do it. They rebuilt the place. And then like MySpace was out at that time. Boom, they put another flyer with the same promoter, Latin night in 2 weeks. And I was like, I had a whole lineup. Like I had Evie Queen, I had Don Omar coming, I had Daddy Yankee, but it was so far out that he went platinum before I signed the contract. So I couldn't afford it after that. But I had all this money out because you pay half for every contract, you pay half up front. So I got like 5 contracts out, $50,000, $60,000. And they did it again and didn't listen. So I went and I blew it up again.
Okay. I mean, in retrospect, we look back at that, you can laugh, right?
No, I laugh now, but I should have just kept doing me, and now I say that.
Yeah, no question.
And then the last thing that ended me up in prison was I was closed for the night, and it was just security and my bartenders, and one of my bartenders comes like, oh, they fighting outside. So I'm like, who's fighting outside? Like, it's only us. So I just happened to walk, I have my gun on me. I walk outside. And when I walk outside, one of my securities fighting with one dude, 1-on-1, they fighting. And you could tell they're already getting tired. So I just stood there watching because I was like, it's 1-on-1. Like, what's the big, like, let them finish. But I have like a bad eye, like on this side. But usually whenever I walk, my head of security stands right next to me. So I realized I was standing outside. I was like, where's this dude at? So when I looked to my left, my head of security was standing to the left, and there was 2 guys standing next to him. And when I finally focused, the 2 guys, they had a gun. And the cheaper the gun, the bigger it is, right? So to me, it looked like it was this big.
Yeah.
And the 2 of them, the guy had his hand on the handle. The other guy was holding the frame, and they were pulling it. Give it to me. No, give it to me. And I'm like, what the heck? You're going to kill each other. So I see the dude that's in charge of these guys. I'm like, yo. take your people out of here. You're gonna make my shit hot. If I get a ticket, it's gonna affect my liquor license. You know, I'm screaming like to the dude, like, come on, get this shit out of here. So so he comes over and then he starts walking over. He goes to the people, he starts talking to them. And then when he starts coming closer to me, he just like disregard what I said. I don't know, maybe he thought I was whatever, but I wound up fatally shooting him and fatally wounding him. And they took 9 months. They denied my bail, said I was a flight risk. And they do a 9-month investigation. And I would have beat the trial because it was self-defense. But the deal was either take the deal for 12 years or they were going to charge me a minimum of 10 years for each arson because the gangster club owners wanted to collect the insurance money. So they handed over the DVD to the police. And it was a year later. They did it a year later. So when they saw that I was locked up, then they handed over the DVD. So I went to prison because of the fires. I actually picked my jury, and the day of starting the trial was when the DA hit us with that behind the scenes. And then I got screamed at by the judge. It was just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that you tell us your story because I'm looking and I'm seeing the success in your 20s. You know what I mean? Even in your teens, really. Like just growing up, you always been that go-getter, you know, and always had employment, always been employed. How did that kind of like affect you the day your first day in prison? Because you never been in prison prior to that. Right?
I mean, I have a couple of things like I've been in Central Booking, but it's not the same, right?
Yeah.
I've been to Rikers for like 4 days because but
yeah, but now you in there facing some real time.
So
how did that feel for
you? Well, so what happened was because they lied to the judge that day, they tried to say we moved the body from inside to outside. Like I went home from that day of that incident for 2 weeks. They couldn't lock me up. They couldn't get nobody to sign the warrant to arrest me because they lied. So I spent my first year going to trial, getting ready for trial. I was in Nassau County because they sent me to Riverhead, and it would almost cause a riot because the Latin people against the other people, and they shipped me out the same day. I changed out of my clothes. I put on the jail orange, and security team sent me back to get dressed, and the sheriff transported me to Nassau County. So I would get transported every time I had to go to court from Nassau for the whole year. So that was hard already, but I was concentrated on fighting my case. But I really didn't experience the jail experience. I spent my second year in downstate, but with the high, they tried to hide me over there. And they tried to get me to sign into PC. And I was like, I'm not doing 10 years in no damn PC. So I got into a little altercation at downstate. They shipped me to Sing Sing. And my first day coming from the yard, I wound up walking the wrong way, and I wound up at A block. And I was like, this is prison. Holy, it's like a movie. Like I was like, oh damn. And the Sergeant McNamara was standing there, and I'd stopped walking. You're not supposed to stop walking. And I'm looking all the way up, and I'm like, what? And then he's like, what are you doing? He's smoking a cigarette. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't belong here. He was like, no. But I was like,
everybody don't belong here.
But I was like, oh, like that. I didn't see the jail. You only see the movie. So I was like, oh, and that's when it really hit me. The first year, I didn't really feel it in downstate because I was driving like a tractor every day. I had to cut in the grass. I had a good job.
Yeah.
But that walking into that A block, it really hurt. I was like, oh.
What year did you get there? The Sing Sing.
2008.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was there from 2008. I did the rest of my bid to 2016. So I did 8.5 years in Sing Sing. And what's weird is that I know a lot of people who are incarcerated, but I didn't realize how many correction officers I know through my business from my
Right.
club, because it was
Yeah.
so happening that when I got there, people was like, "Yo, you need anything?" And I was like, "Hell no."
Yeah.
You
Theo
know,
actually.
we
Right.
friends. Like I know you, and we
Yeah.
good, but like I remember one time I got lost a wreck, and my gate opened in the middle of the night. It was like 8 o'clock at night, and it was like click click, and I was like, "What the hell?" So I opened the gate and look out, and the CEO was like, "Oh, they want you on the bridge, the mess hall bridge." So I walk all the way over there, and Bailey was like, "Yo, Kasana said if you need to use the phone." I said, "Whoa, listen. If I need something emergency, I will let you know. Please don't open my cell no more." I said, "How you trying to get me jammed up by opening my cell? Everybody else is locked in." I was like, "If I need something emergency, I will let you know." Like, no.
Yeah.
And I went back, boom, I closed the gate. I said,
No
"Hell
question.
no."
Yeah, so how
Let
was
me, yeah.
go ahead, yeah.
No, I just want to so at that point, I know a lot of things had been going through your mind, going through your head. Right, we take a young man who's on the rising star, making great moves, making good business, investment and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, just one bad decision, allowing your emotions to supersede your intelligence. Not once, not twice, but a third time. You know what I mean? And like now, you sitting in that reality, like you said, walking into A block, you like that's how it was for me the first time I got to Attica when that bus pulled up, and I looked and I'm saying to myself, boy, whoever's going here, they fucked, right? So my name is Anthony Cologne, so they go alphabetical order. When they called my name, I was like, yeah, it's like, yeah, you're getting off here. I was like,
Whoa.
no, I think there's a mistake. I only got a 3 to 9 bed. I don't be like,
Wow.
Yeah. What they do? Why am I going
like
here?
going through all that, right? You got all that going through your head. You could have went 2 routes, right? When you get a man like that of your stature, what I'm saying, you want to fit in with the prison style, right? But then you got a lot of officers that know you, respect you, and want to try to look out for you, right? To separating that boundary, to saying, 'cause most people are like, yeah, that police gonna bring me, son, gonna look out, I'm gonna go with this team over here and benefit off that. But then again, you got to lock in with the rest of the masters and how that looks, right? Um, but you got guys, I've been around guys that it was a standard. It was like, 50-50 type thing. And people always knew that. What made you say, you know what, I'm going to just ride this out, do what I got to do to stay focused to get my ass home? And before that, like, what was the worst thing you seen in there that was like shocking for a second?
So once I got when I got in trouble at Downstate, they didn't have no programming. Like I was in a GED program, so I did all of that stuff. I didn't even have a GED, so I was a multi-millionaire without a GED.
Yeah.
No question. Right.
You know, so I went to the GED program in Downstate, and I wound up getting transferred. So I was pissed off because you hear all the stories about Sing Sing or whatever. So when I get there, I was pissed off in the bullpen, and I was like, oh. And they actually asked me where I wanted to go from Downstate because the whoever was the one who told on the fight, they said that I was just defending myself. So they were like, "You can't stay here, but where do you want to go?" I said, "Just send me somewhere where they got school." But I know that I had heard that there was no college. So when I got to Sing Sing, somebody was sweeping the floor, and I was pissed. It was like, "What's wrong, young man?" I was like, they said they was gonna send me somewhere where they got school. They sent me here, like to gladiator school. Like, what the hell, man? And the guy was like, "No, they got college here." So like I was like, "Really?" And you know, from when I got to my cell, like after I got past the first couple of days, I was like, um, I'm gonna prepare myself. I had to like start over. I said, I'm gonna prepare myself so that when I go home, you know, because they say once you know how to make the first million, the second million is inevitable. And I already know how to do it. So I said, I'm gonna do whatever I can in here, so I'm prepared for out there.
Right,
So
no,
I went to my GED program. I actually took computer repair as long as until they kicked me out. So I was in computer repair for 18 months.
was Sam.
Um,
You was with
yeah,
Sam.
yeah. So I was all the way up to like,
I was the clerk.
oh, he was the clerk. So yeah, I was
The
there
clerk.
18 months, and I
Yeah,
was I was up to like Microsoft Vista. So like that was the most they would let him come in, and I was like good. And then I was like, why you not bringing in Apple stuff? And he was like, they don't let me. And I was like, so this Vista is like outdated already. But then they kicked, you know, they said I couldn't be there anymore. And so I became a teacher's aide so I could be in the school building. And at that point, before I started college, I used to read 300 pages of novel a day. So I was reading pretty much a book a day from when I started my incarceration. So I mean, I have boxes and boxes of books in all my in my mother's house and here. And I said I gotta do better. And then I took my GED, and because I got such a high score, the late Miss Muhammad actually gave me an opportunity to take the entrance exam. And
that's right.
they
Love to
waived
Miss Muhammad.
yeah,
God bless her soul.
they waived my 3 credits because I passed with a 3,000 on my GED.
Wow.
And I took the entrance exam, and then from there on I was like always building like what I'm gonna do when I come home, you know. So
That's right.
I got I had a small business class in Mercy, and I used it to build a business plan with all information from outside and for indoor aquaponic farming. So that's like my ultimate goal, like to do that. And but I got all the real information. The professor was bringing in the stuff, and I was like, my partners were like, here, you get the pictures, you do this, and I made the whole business plan that right now I can like get the money and do it.
No question. If I could for a second too, Miss Muhammad, that was our academic coordinator in Sing Sing. She also served 25 years, you know, came home and became our coordinator. And you know, all I could say is bless her soul. She was hard on us.
I heard a
And
lot of good things about her.
she
Shout
loved
out to
everybody.
Muhammad.
Question. You know, so it well, because I was in Sing Sing from 2006. We were together. You know, I
Yes.
was there from 2006 to 2015. And I like to acknowledge these blessings that come because I was in Clinton for a long time and I was trying to get to Sing Sing because a friend of mine who you know, and my followers, a lot of my followers may know, name a mentor, Rashawn Smalls, big up the Buffalo.
Big shout out to
You
her,
know,
man.
he left me in Clinton and came to Sing Sing and told me, yo, listen, you got to come here because I got my GED in Clinton. So when I got my GED, they took the college program from us in 1994 5 it was. And and so you know he was like, yo, I heard they got school down here. He went down there, scoped the place out. We used to write each other, our families write each other. We write to them and they'll send us the letter. You know, they'll boomerang the letters to us. And he was like, you got to get down here. I tried to get down there. You know, I got to Green Haven, got back to Clinton, got down to Sing Sing after that. And when I got there in 2006, like I said, I like to acknowledge the blessings. For you to leave downstate and come to Sing Sing, that you know, I think that was that blessing for you because you was already on your way. You know what I mean? You was already on your way to being successful in life. You know what I mean? It's just there's a lot of bad decisions we make in life, and we can't define ourselves as our from our last bad decisions that we make. And so when I seen you and seen you in the college program, I know that most of us in the college program, we going through that growth and development stage. And so and so if you could just tell me about what inspired you, while you was in there to actually stay in the course. Because you and Sing Sing, we know that we got the good and the bad. We you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
crazy in Sing Sing.
I'm gonna go back to the question when you said what was the worst thing that I saw, so that I don't like forget the stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't think it was like one incident, because um I was very fortunate. I'm like one of the only people that I know that I could go to any table in Sing Sing Yard, like, and I mean sit at any table, and I was blessed with having everybody who shows me love. So I would get told, go back on the early. So I was never outside for
No
like
question. Yeah.
so like I would come outside to play poker, and they'd be like, yo, Ish, go back on the early. I'm be like, you don't gotta tell me twice. I'm winning or losing, I'm out of here. And I really would know it's something big. Like if I come out and they like, yo, use the phone now before you take a shower. I'm like, oh damn, yo. I was like, it's going down. let me go use the phone, get in the shower.
Yeah.
But on the early go back, you would get the knuckleheads that would get cut, and then they would like hide it and go stand at the front of the gate, like to get back to their cell without getting in trouble. And I had to learn, like, don't be the first person at the gate. I would stand back like 12 feet, and I'm like, I don't want to be the first guy, and I want to get out of here before they shut this down. So I've seen the worst thing I've seen is like dudes walking holding the cheek on their face. And in 8.5 years I only got like caught out there twice, on the, like, one time with my face on the floor from the yard, and one time when we went into like the hallway and we had to like take off all our clothes. But in 8.5 years I was very fortunate to not be around those big incidents.
Yeah, I know it's a challenge, right? Coming home after all of that, getting back acclimated, right? A lot of people, I know a lot of people that go to prison, and instead of educating themselves in there and looking for the tools to prepare themselves for when they come home, they stay resentful, they stay uneducated, they stay ignorant, and they stay angry. So they come home and they try to prove everything to all the people that don't matter, right? And always F the government, F the white man, F this, right? And I always say, listen, every time you say F the government, F the law, they fuck you. Right. So, like, at what point do you say, you know what? They don't really give a fuck about me. I need to focus on what I have to do and prepare to live life to the best of normalcy that I can possibly do without going back inside, right? That means staying focused, staying hard working, dedicated, believing, going through those obstacles, facing those challenges that when you go and apply for a job that get that question, have you ever been convicted of a crime? People freak out, right? What propelled you? What was your motivation that you said, and you made a good comment that once you make 1 million, making your second and third one is easy peasy, right? I know that. But like your mindset, how did you just not come back and say,
And how
So
was that? And answering that question also, how was that first day? How did that first day feel to you when you was released? Like after doing all that time? Share that as well.
okay. So when I was in there, like that, like I said, when I saw the stuff, when I saw it sing like A Block, so I was already reading and stuff, but I said, I have to be ready, because I'm never coming back here. So like I cannot go home and go down a list of all the people who did me wrong, and go off the deep end like I know I can. So I was like, I don't want to come back here and seeing people come back. So I said, I'm gonna be a better me when I leave here. And that was before I started school. But once I started school, it changes your way of thinking. So like I would never let anyone get me that upset again. You know,
Absolutely.
that's the turning point. And and that's the drive, like I know where I was. So now I don't want where I was. I want to go past where I was.
Absolutely.
I know where how to get there. And I made mistakes when I came home. Um, I had some money and I tried to like rush it. And I went to go open a bar, a lounge, and not paying attention and not using the lawyers and everything. I wound up losing like $63,000 in the first 6 months I was home.
Oh, oh,
So,
yeah.
for trying to jump back in and get the money back fast, because that's what I know how to do.
Right.
And I wasn't paying attention to the legality. It wasn't no more. I don't have that power like before, like the handshakes and like nobody's gonna go against me. Everything was on paper.
Right.
And when I couldn't secure the loan, again, I should have learned from when I was younger. Nobody wanted to sign for me. I was back to the beginning. I
Mhm.
lost the money because nobody wanted to sign for me.
Mhm.
And so I had to regroup from that. And I was like, listen, just gonna go to work, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And so I look at my life like a jigsaw puzzle, not a regular puzzle. The jigsaw puzzle is the little one. You can't cheat. You can't look at the writing and know
Yeah.
that that's the end. You can't. You can't. You can't see the writing, so you
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
So that's how I see it. So every day
You
I'm
gotta figure it out.
putting the pieces, and and that's the drive. I got to do better, and and now when I went to work, like you said, you mentioned about the record. So like I still was not feeling like anybody. When I came home, I started an LLC to get parole supervision off of my back. You can't give me no curfew. You can't tell me where I can go. So I was already prepared for all of their rules. So I got
Okay.
an LLC. I have a laundry service. Like I can't be on your schedule because somebody calls me. You can't affect my money.
Right.
So they had to get supervisors. I had passed to go to New Jersey to go pick up laundry at any time. So there was no curfew. But even then I was blessed. The officers would come to my house and be like, I just need to see where you sleep. Boop, and leave.
Right.
They calling me. You at the laundry or you in your house? I'm like, I'm at my house.
Either.
They're like, I'll be there in 5 minutes. They pull up with 4 people. Lady come out. The CO will correctional parole officer come out, open the basement door, see the bed, back door. Okay, finish.
Right.
Never issues because I give them respect. They never bother me.
Yeah.
I actually went to California like in the first 3 months I was home with a supervisor's signature. I said, yo, my son bought me a ticket. He was like, who knows you? Like nobody knows you. Who you think is gonna sign this?
Mhm.
you know? And that's what I do. And then when I went to work, I can't mention the name because we still have like a lawsuit going, but so I went to work at a place and I was there for 30 days. In 30 days, I got a raise. They gave me a raise. I'm one of the only people that they put on training videos to drive every heavy machinery in the place. So everybody gets a license to drive one type of high-low. My license was for every high-low
Nice.
because I know how to use all the machines. And so I got a raise in 30 days. I got a certificate for great performance and work ethic and helping the other people. And I got a badge. And then in 45 days, I got a call at 8 o'clock in the morning telling me that I was terminated. Don't come back to work because of my background check.
Wow. Hmm.
So
Wow.
that was like a reality check. It's like I
Yeah.
purposely took a job under what I'm supposed to be doing so that nobody would bother me, you know.
Right.
And I still got fired. So you know, so that's what led me now on this path where I'm at now. It wasn't what I chose to do, but that's how I got involved with Clean Slate New York and became an advocate for Clean Slate New York.
Talk about clean slate for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us a
Okay.
little bit about that.
You want to know about Clean? Okay. So
Yeah,
Clean
tell
Slate
our
New York.
followers.
All right. So Clean Slate New York is a bill that has been passed through Albany, through the Assembly and the Senate. Okay, it was passed. It took 4 years, which is very short for a bill to get passed. Uh, with the assembly people and the senators, they did a three-way thing with the governor so that they can get this thing fully passed because she has to sign it. So she adjusted it a little bit, and what the outcome is, if you have a misdemeanor after 3 years of your release date, if you have a felony 8 years after your release date, except for A felonies, but not including drug charges. So that was the adjustment that she made. She made it 8 years instead of 7 for felonies. And she put in A felonies, which I don't know all of the topics, but it's like murder, kidnapping, whatever the A1 felonies are.
Mhm.
But we pushed back and we got her to agree to to include drug A felonies that they can get a clean slate. So with the clean slate New York, it will seal. It's not going to erase records. That was another thing. They wanted the wording had to be specific. So it will seal the records. So the landlords, jobs won't be able to see your record. Uh, the other people like federal working with children, stuff like that, they will be able to do the full background check because you're working with children and federal stuff, but it won't erase it. So they asked for another 3 years because, believe it or not, the Department of Justice and whoever else is going to have these computers, they still have the computers from the old bank, like the beige computer with the black
Yeah,
screen.
the IBMs and stuff.
Mhm.
so so they asked for 3 years to implement it. But the good thing is that the bill tied the DOJ into it. So it will be, they have everybody's records all the way back. So as they start putting it into effect, you will get a letter. You're not going to have to go in front of a judge. You're not going
Nice.
to you're not going to have to pay a lawyer to get this paperwork. They're going to start sending letters out and say, "Hey, your record has been sealed. Your record
Nice.
has been
Oh
sealed."
wow. Let me
So
ask,
mhm.
is that yes for New York State?
Their clean slate is the clean slate bill is in different states, but right now New York, it's passed in a couple of states. I don't have the exact states, but in New York, ours is a little more fine tuned, whereas it's connected to the DOJ. So that's what's gonna that makes ours better because it's gonna
Right.
be automatic. And
Right.
and the model that they put in is is better in that fact. The only thing is now we have to put together like people to stay on top of that, right? So she's gonna sign the bill because she says she's gonna sign it within the next month or so. When she signs it, it'll be a law. As long as she doesn't veto it, even if she doesn't sign it, it becomes law. So because she was part of the final, we believe that she's definitely gonna sign it within the next month or so, and it'll be law. And then 3 years after that, but we're gonna put together like a committee kind of thing, like to check it. Like, hey, maybe every six
So
months, like
I'm sure everyone, yeah.
did you get the program ready? You know?
So let me ask you a question. So for me, my last case up there was in 96 or 98. Right? I can get that sealed off
At
even
eight,
from
eight
down here.
years, 8 years after your last release date, it will be automatic. So you're not gonna have to do anything because you're in the database. So that you'll be getting a letter saying, "Hey, your
It has been sealed.
yeah,
So
your
they,
record
they
has been sealed."
so it won't pop up right now,
It won't.
even though
So
I live
like,
in Florida.
and this is another part that New York has added. The people who wrote the bill, CCA, and they if you find out that somebody violated, they connected it with a civil part to it. So if somebody violates your civil right and goes into your record and you find out about it, you can sue them.
Wow.
Can you explain can you tell us what CCA is? What CCA stands for,
So
please?
CCA is the Center for Community Alternatives, and they are the people who write the bill. Like they're in there. They're talking to assembly people. They're talking to senators. They're getting formerly incarcerated people, people who are criminally the criminal justice impacted people, families, and
That's
and and they're the ones who set up the rallies. Like when I go speak in Albany in the $1 million staircase, that like they're the ones who say, "Hey, it's go tell your story,"
yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're right now the new campaigns that they're getting ready for the new session in January is the CNC, which is Communities Not Cages. So it's several bills that they're working on there, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. But like I said, like I didn't choose this path, but like I'm on it now. Like
No
I talk
question.
I talk about it. Like let's
No
go.
question.
we we talk about that all the time. And I think we can literally have like we're gonna have to probably do a part two, Eric. To be honest with you, because I think you have so much more information that people like to hear about, right? But
No
real
question.
quick, we talk about this all the time about in life. You're either working or you find your purpose, right? And sometimes our purpose is not in line with what we hope to do, right?
That's right.
And that's just honest, right? Like for me, for my business, my business when we started my company, we just wanted to do something different. You understand what I mean? And me, my wife, and my team, we completely changed the whole view of system on how people view mental health out here in Florida. You understand what I'm saying? But we can get to that at another time because, like I said, we just ran out of time. We're running out of time. But Eric and I we got to get you back. We have
Okay.
to do a part two on this because this is pertinent information that everybody needs to hear. I think there's amazing, great news, right? Because I'm still shocked. I'm actually once we're done, I'm probably gonna call my lawyer. So,
Yeah, no question. No, but if you could, if you could just briefly like um give us that I guess that insight when you came home after doing all that time, how it felt for you and what you doing now, where you going now, like
so people get in touch with you, they need to.
So when I came home, it was great because my mom and dad came, and my daughter and my son and a childhood friend of mine took a whole week off from work, and he was like, "I'm gonna take you wherever you gotta go to get your ID, whatever." He took a whole week off to drive me everywhere,
Wow.
and it was great, to hug my family. But I came out, on fire. I was like, I don't have time to play. I lost 10 years,
that's right.
and I was like, I don't got time to sit here and cry. Like I gotta get money, and then it was hard. Like I went to 5 interviews when I came home at Whole Foods with my resume, which is, it's a great resume. Like my resume, I should be making $180,000 a year,
Well,
and you know, and I can't even get half of that. I can't get there because of my record. And I went to 5 interviews at Whole Food, and I went all the way up to the district manager of New York. and they kept stealing me. One manager would steal me and say, "No, I need this guy for me. I need this guy for me." So after the 5th interview, the district manager of New York said, "Listen, you apply for a janitor's position. I'm gonna get you in because we don't got to start over. Once you get in, I'm gonna move you out of that to where you belong." When I receive in the mail a 30-page background check. Like I don't even have 30 pages of a record. You know, I got like
Don't
Mr.
make no sense.
You know, felon. My felony was driving with a suspended license. You know, and then my big charge, but they didn't give me the job because of my background check.
Yeah.
You know, so Whole Foods is one of those people. You know, and I can talk about it, but like they were when I step up on that box. You know, there's going to be certain agencies that I messed with when I came home that they won't get mentioned. And there's going to be people I'm going to put on blast for not doing the right thing, you know. And I told people before, I didn't know I was going to be on this platform, but I was like, if I have a platform, you don't want to be on the wrong side.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, so
That's
it's a different, you know, I spoke to Prince and he's like, we're not going to use the gangster no more. So I was like, I'm not going to be a gangster no more, but I would be the square. But this square is going to use those same tactics and I'm going to put you on blast. Like, don't say you all for, don't check the box and we're here to employ formerly incarcerated and then not do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're talking something else out different side of your neck.
Yeah. And I'm proof. So like, you can't lie. I'm proof.
No question, man. Yo, I appreciate this. I definitely
I want to keep talking. I want to get like more information. We had a lot of brothers and sisters on this show, man. Shout out to everyone that's been on here, right? And a lot of everyone brings something good to the table, right? When I hear information like this, you know, that the public needs to hear, you know, we gotta let them get with Mark to plug it into the link to our you know,
no question.
because awareness, right? The difference between stupid and ignorance is just ignorance just doesn't know. Stupid pretend like they don't know, right? And you know, let's change that dialogue between knowing what you know and using it to your benefit, or knowing what you know and playing stupid and still making the wrong choices, and then be like, really? And you wonder why you're still part of that recidivism rate and number and stuff like that.
And so before we go, like, so that's my new thing, right? So like whenever I post now, it says like, let's be different, right? Because I promote everybody, like your show.
Absolutely.
I promote Black Squares. Like there's so many things that I just reposted because so on my post, even when I repost, I'm like, let's be different. Like, share, repost, and support each other, right? So the new thing is educate, unify, and
You got it.
educate, unify, and accountability. That's it. So that's my new things, right? Because when I'm going down this path, we gotta hold these politicians accountable for what they're not doing that they said they was gonna do when they get there. So we need to educate each other, we need to unify, and we gotta hold everybody accountable.
Right. You got an Instagram?
Yes, it's my whole name is my Instagram because I don't need to change it. My whole name, my whole bid, I'm Ish. Like that, you know, I don't got a nickname.
That's a few that come up here.
It's got my picture.
Huh?
It got my picture. It's like I'm a geek, not a Greek. I'm a geek.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh yeah.
355, same way.
You know,
Ismael Diaz Jr.
Yeah, I came home, and that's another thing. I came home and I walked at Mercy College for my bachelor's this year, and
congratulations too.
I got honor, you know, I got honor society. I'm part of the psychology honor society, the Phi Gamma. I'm part of the behavioral science honor society, the Gamma. Like I got like sworn in and stuff. Like I'm.
I just followed you. And I definitely want to link up with you. So again, you want to plug in any of your social media, how people can get connected, how people can reach you if need be. Uh, and we're gonna set something up for definitely a part two. I would
Okay.
love to have a part
So
two.
Bless
I got my empanada company, so it's Brooklyn's Empanadas. They can see it on all my social media. I cross promote it on all my pages, and I also have with my friend Robbie. We do the beans and pancake morning show every day at 7:30, Monday through Friday in the morning.
Love that.
And
Okay, big up to the show, big up to Robbie. Yeah, I'll be
Yes.
watching y'all too.
and Saturdays and Sundays we do it at 9 o'clock, and there's no script. Like we just talk about it. So like whoever wants to come on the video, they can come on. They don't have to. We talk about it, whatever the topic. Like how was the day? Like what's bothering you? Like somebody will come on and ask about clean slate, or somebody will come on and give us, and we'll just take it from there, man. And people,
Absolutely, we'll be
You
on
gotta
there
get me,
soon.
gotta get me linked up with that one. I want to check that out. Definitely want to
We'll
check
be
that
on
out.
there
you know,
soon.
Yeah.
definitely, man. You guys come on, and you don't gotta come on video. Anybody who comes on video, they ask to be on there.
Oh no, we
And
love to be on video.
This
well, you
success
guys
got
come
my
on.
lockdown.
Yeah, you
You
guys
know
come
what I
on,
mean? We're an
and
open book over here.
yeah, and you tell them that
It's
we
better,
talk
it's better
about
than
it.
Channel 7 like this.
Nah, we talk about it. Like, and
No
if I don't
shit.
know something, I'll be like, let's get back. I'll come back to it.
Yeah. Uh, but like seriously, I want to say thank you, man, for taking the time out, man. We know that you're a busy man. Uh, definitely got a lot of good information. I just followed you. I want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in to Success Lockdown on StreamYard over here. Everybody that's been following us since day one. Want to give a shout out to everybody, man. You can follow us on Instagram. Eric, what's your favorite? Go ahead,
Yeah, TikTok,
Eric.
Anchor, Apple Music. We
Spotify,
we on Spotify,
YouTube, right?
YouTube, Facebook,
Facebook, everywhere.
Twitter.
And for all those that are out there, man, that's been watching us, following us, don't hesitate to drop a comment. If you know someone who has changed their life around, that's out there, man, that deserve to be on this show, that's bringing some, positivity. We talk about the negative because it's just a story and how to embrace the positive and how we changing lives, right? And changing the dynamic and the narrative of formerly incarcerated men and women. We do change. We do bring something to the table, and we are touching lives and making good productive members of the society. You can send us an email at successafterlockdown at
At
gmail.com.
gmail.com.
You can reach
That's
out
right.
to me at Anthony Cologne 188 and
And
Instagram.
me at Eric Benson 355. Y'all know what it is.
Ishmael Diaz /Jr on Instagram, on IG. Follow him. Follow the Beans and Pancake Show on the weekend. Uh, listen, man. Let's support each other. If we
No,
not
listen,
standing
real
up for
quick.
each other,
No question, real quick. I just want to shout out because while we were talking with you, Ish, there was a couple of brothers that chimed in. I seen in the corner, so we want to give a big shout out to Donald Curtis. You know what I mean? And Unified Black Caucus. I
Okay.
seen he chimed in. Somebody else chimed in too, Anthony. I don't know if you seen that in the corner
yeah.
earlier when we was talking. A couple of people had chimed in. You know,
I did. I just clicked
first
on it. I
stream,
didn't even realize it.
this our first stream, y'all. So I don't even know how to respond to them. But on the next time we on here, I will. Trust me. We
Yeah,
on it.
I
Freedom is a
didn't
must.
see it. Yeah, I
Freedom
didn't
is a
see it
must.
either.
We're gonna give a shout out to Freedom is a must. You know.
Going right now, Curtis. One of my residents down here, Michael. Hey,
Yeah, let them
Michael.
know. What up, Michael? What's good,
Michael,
man?
our place in the house.
We appreciate y'all, chiming in. And listen, man, I appreciate you, Ish. Like you said, like Anthony said, we're gonna have you on again. We definitely gonna
Anytime,
talk,
man.
man.
It's an honor to be on here, man.
We're gonna keep
I
the
watch all
movement
the
going, man.
yeah, we got big things coming. I can't really announce it right now, but maybe by the next time I'll be able to tell you the
No
path
question.
I'm going on. But We got big things coming,
right
man.
here on Success After Lockdown,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, we
And
got
I
big
just
things.
Listen, we're looking forward to it, man. Nothing but much success, much blessing, man. Anything you put your mind and your hand to, you know what I mean? Like, these are the stories that we love to hear. This is the success, right? You know, people don't understand the success really means we haven't gone back to prison. Everything on top of that is a blessing and a plus in our life. You know, the minute we get too cocky, too confident, and complacent, just like that, we can lose it all over again. So stay blessed, stay balanced, stay, grateful, and stay humble, man. Stay humble.
And listen, man, we going out now, man. Appreciate you, once again. But in the words of the brother Ismael, I want to say educate, unify, and accountability.
Accountability. There
Peace
you
and
go.
blessings, man. Success after lockdown. Another
Definitely, man.
great piece, man. We appreciate it, and we are StreamYard and live, and we will be here. We in the
And Eric
building.
is gonna learn the buttons. He gonna get it, and we go.
And I'm taking us out because this is what it is. Yo, be safe, Ish, and we'll talk
Peace.
soon, man. Peace and
Peace, my
blessings.
brother. Salute.
All
Salute to
right.
you, Papi, all right?
Yes,
Oro
sir.
suave. Oro suave.